Hi, I'm Mike. I'm here with the Morphicon Network here at Pasadena Convention Center for Power Morphicon 2022. And here I am with one of my favorite psycho villains, Mr. Michael Maize, who played
Psycho Black
in one of the greatest seasons of Power Rangers in the Saban era, Zordon era, you name it, it's a great era. And so, how are you enjoying the convention so far?
It's so much fun. I haven't been here for 10 years. I've only been doing the East Coast convention, so it's good to be back in the West.
Yeah, I haven't seen you in 10 years, but it's good to see you again regardless.
Yeah, I've been busy. Been doing a lot.
Yeah, and I noticed because you've been on Gotham, you've been on True Blood, Grimm, Charmed, the list goes on.
Yeah.
And I'm a huge fan of some of those shows. But the show I'm the biggest fan of is Power Rangers, of course. So what was your experience overall doing the voice of Psycho Black throughout the 6-episode run plus the additional episode a few episodes later?
Yeah, well, we got cast first as a human form. They shot that episode first, and then we went back after we shot that to do the voice of all the other episodes. And at that time, it was my first gig I ever did, so it was pretty exciting to just jump into it. I never even experienced any sort of voice acting, but they just kind of guided us through and told us what to do. And I remember when we changed into is it Megazord? Is that right?
Your monster forms.
Yeah, the monster form. I think it's Megazord. I had no idea what they're doing. They're like, just do some crazy monster voice. So that was pretty awesome. We were just like, rah, 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 rah. And just like when you're a kid, just doing some monster voice.
Yeah, that was wonderful. And of course, you did get to play your civilian forms, the Psycho Red and Psycho Yellow. Were there any particular mannerisms you were instructed to do while you're in your civilian forms, or did you just do your own thing for those scenes?
I think I just did my own thing for the audition, and then just brought that into playing the role. I think they were just kind of going with what our instinct was. We had the black leather jackets, so we were just feeling the jacket, feeling the evil. I had a big theater background, so the Power Rangers are definitely theatrical, and so I definitely brought that into the role.
Speaking of theatrical characters, one of my favorite shows towards my late college years was Grimm, and you got to play a Bloodbot, which is what that show calls the werewolves, the big bad wolf.
Yeah.
So what was your experience playing a Bloodbot, especially was there a makeup or CGI thing going on when you would wogue?
Yeah, there was a CGI. We basically had to put dots all over our face at that time. And so I remember doing the scene where I changed, doing the dots, and then we would do it one take with the dots, one take without the dots, and then they kind of smushed it together. But I loved doing Grimm. It was such a cool role, and we shot up in Portland, and it was a lot of fun.
Now, one of my favorite Disney films is the National Treasure series, where in the second movie you played the right-hand man of the villain of the film, although anti-villain, I guess. But what was your experience behind the scenes of going to all those locations and meeting the cast and crew of the original film?
I loved it so much. I mean, it was a Disney film, so there was a lot of money involved, and they put us up in really great places. We filmed in South Dakota, in New York, in LA, and in London. In London, we were there for probably 3.5 weeks, and maybe shot 4 to 6 days of those 3.5 weeks. So all those other days, we were just hanging out, doing tourist stuff, getting a beer. But it was really, I got spoiled from that movie because they treated us so well.
So kind of bonus to your response, were there any particular locations in London you got to sightsee that you most enjoyed visiting?
Well, I really loved the pubs, actually, the pub life, about how people just go to work, and then after work they just grab a drink or two and then mosey on over and be done with it. So it was just nice to just chill with the locals. And then we did the traditional double-decker bus, got to see everything. there's an area down by the river which was like the dark alley area or something, I remember. But yeah, London was definitely, at that time, it was like 2.5 to 1 for the dollar, so it was really expensive. So it was great to be in London on like an all-expense trip, you know.
Oh yeah, definitely. Well, I really enjoyed interviewing you. I hope you enjoyed being interviewed by us. Before we close out, is there any social medias you'd like to plug in for the fans to follow you on?
Sure, yeah. Mainly I'm on Instagram, which is just at Michael Maize, Maize. It's the main one that I use.
All right.
I'm in the latest season of Pretty Little Liars. That's my latest thing I've done, and that's it.
Yeah, that show is really popular right now. Best of luck with that. I can't wait to see you on it. Yeah. And of course, this is Mike Matusevich. This is Mike Maize. And enjoy the rest of your Morphicon. May the power protect you.